Now I gotta ride or die.
Starting off things incredibly differently today. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to just be taking the wheels off and painting the calipers on the 106, but as you can see, this is the only extension measure I have, and the video is going to start a little bit differently, and then this happened. I didn't know the Hulk was able to do up wheel nuts. I actually feel like crying. Oh my god, who did this up? This is what the face of misery looks like. These must have been gunned on with like all of the electricity. Ah! I try not to cry on camera, but that was, whoa, I tell you what, mate, whoever did them up, nah, the Hulk must have done it. The Hulk came and did them wheel nuts up. Insane. Wheel nuts should never be that tight, I tell you, they should never be that tight. And yes, this is what I believe to be from a toilet. Random, I know. Anyway guys, today, as you can see, look at that. Look at this. Draper. Not that this is sponsored or anything. We're just going to pop some tags. Oh, yeah. Bleed jack before use. We'll do that in a second. New jack, new axle stands and stuff. Basically, we're going to take all the wheels off today. We're painting them in the not so distant future. COVID-19 has meant that I was going to go to get these powder coated in the next sort of, well, they should be there now, actually, if I'm honest. But today, we're going to try and get it in the air. I've actually loosened all the wheel nuts off now. Thank God. So one quick change later, I'm in some clothing that is actually old school. This is my S13 from way back when, if you guys remember that car. Shout out. I think there's around 25,000 subscribers. I actually bought that, so insane thing, but just not for me anyway. But we're gonna get on with the brake calipers. Now I actually bought some caliper paint from eBay. So this is the closest to cherry red is what I was after. So the plan is, I know this is a bit of a, I don't know, controversial mod. People sometimes like this and they sometimes don't, but I've actually gone ahead and already done 3 of them just to make sure the colour came out right, the consistency came out right, and that I was sort of doing it right. I know it sounds really stupid, but this is actually the first time I've ever painted some calipers, something so simple that anybody at home can do. And I think this stuff was around £12 from eBay, so very cheap, easy mod, or at least a restoration thing that you can do to your car. Now, one other thing to point out is that the car is obviously on a gravel driveway. I've moved all of the gravelly parts out of the way, and I'm using 3-ton axle stands just there and there with a 4-leg print on the ground. I know a lot of people may not like that, and they may not like the idea that a gravel driveway, jacking up cars, all that sort of stuff, but I've pretty much worked most of my automotive modifying career, whatever that is, on a gravel driveway, so this is nothing new to me really. You use boards, you use the right jacks and the right equipment, and you're absolutely fine for it. So please don't destroy me in the comments and stuff. It's just one of those things you have to work with your environment. We're on lockdown at the moment, so using the right tools is key. And happy with how that front one came out. I will point out that I understand that there is other ways of doing this. This isn't the conventional pulling everything off and actually doing it properly, I suppose, but I'm not after crazy results. I just want to restore the caliper back as much as I can without whipping every single thing off, because I don't want to take the whole brake caliper off and take everything out. That's for another day when I actually refurbish this brakes, or put some Brembos on it, because I have looked at a couple of sets of Brembo brakes for this thing. So down the road we might put some Brembos on this. It's a beautiful day, as you can see, so painting the calipers is key. Again, this is not a tutorial, this is not a how-to. I will point that out every time I try and do a video with one of my own cars. I'm just taking you guys on the journey of the 106 and me doing bits during lockdown to it that are relatively cheap. This is a cheap mod or restoration thing that anybody can do to any car. Again, about 12 quid to actually do this. So we're going to start with this front caliper, or finish with it in that sense, and yeah, try and paint it as much as possible. Obviously not going onto the clips and stuff. Again, not taking any of this out. I understand people may not like that, but this is the easiest part for everybody. Anybody can jack their car up and actually do this on their driveway with little skills at the end of the day. All you got to do is know how to jack a car up properly. But we're going to get on with arts and crafts with Jamie FYD and get these calipers looking a little bit nicer. Now, actually completing a sausage sandwich
Shout out to other halves that bring out sausage sandwiches. Just saying that out loud. Good time. So this is not a how-to. This is not, you should be doing it this way. There is multiple ways you can do this. You can take the calipers off, get them properly recoated and, you know, all that stuff. Today we're doing it the simplest way possible, the cheapest way possible, so everybody and anybody can do this on a driveway, pretty much anywhere. If you really wanted to whip the wheels off and wait and let it dry and stuff, this will be the easiest way to paint your calipers. Now, I would suggest cleaning the caliper down. Again, not telling you what to do here, but I would clean the caliper down. I have two brushes, one thick one that actually came with the paint and a thin one that I had just in the back. I'm going to try my best to go past all of this. Obviously I don't want any of this actually being painted. We're going to go past all of that. Again, if you really wanted to, I'm not going to do it in this video because I don't actually have time today. This car is going somewhere else in a bit, so need to get this done now, wheels on, when it's, you know, nice and dry. So we're doing this in the morning, just smashing it out. And usually, again, taking all of this off, but again, today I'm not going to be doing that. Let's crack on, shall we? Now this is the colour that we went for. You see that? It's as cherry red as pretty much I could possibly get. I did have a good look round to see if there was any more cherry red examples, but there wasn't. This was the only one. So let's crack on. So bulk bit's done with the bigger brush. Now we're going to go to the smaller brush. I didn't say before, but this is actually a 250ml pot. You definitely don't need this size pot of paint for 4 brake calipers at the end of the day. I think having it and keeping it to one side is quite a good idea because you might want to do it to other cars, but the smaller pots, the 120ml or whatever they are, 125ml, would probably be the way to go, a little bit cheaper. One thing to point out, this is a 250ml, and yeah, I've done all 4 basically. I've just got to finish, you know, this one up, and yeah, there's loads of paint left. So if you are looking for some, 120ml is probably the one to go for. So here we go, guys, finished result from, you know, 10-15 minutes of actually painting the front caliper. Now, yes, it's not the best job. I understand that you can do a way better job than this by taking all the calipers off and taking all the springs out and everything, but we want a quick turnaround today because obviously this car, as you guys may not know, needs to be somewhere else in the next sort of day or so. So I'm happy with that for a bit. What we're going to do is going to throw the black wheels back on once all this is dried, because these wheels will be changing colour very, very soon. So not going to do that in this video. We're just going to throw those back on. This was something I wanted to do. It's a very simple, cheap, easy thing to do to any car. Again, 12 quid will get you the pot of paint and a brush off eBay. And remember to get the proper caliper paint, as you don't just want to be putting any old paint on this. But let's just have a look at this side as we're here. Yeah, really, really happy with that. Obviously, we'll do a lot more to the arches and everything. When the time comes, I want to clear out all these arches and actually paint all of the inside of the arches at some point. So we will be doing that in a future video. Don't you guys worry. We're going to town on this little 106.
people can't even